The paradox of slowing down. Slowing down isn't a setback, it's a redirection. And the moment you feel like you're losing momentum might be the exact moment your life is quietly recalibrating. Because here's the truth, no one tells you. Life doesn't always move you forward by speeding things up. Sometimes it moves you forward by bringing everything to a stop. Not to punish you, not to delay you, but to realign you. So if things have been slowing down lately, if progress feels stuck, if doors aren't opening the way they used to, this isn't the end of your path. It's the moment your path is being rewritten, when life suddenly hits pause. Take a moment and look at your life right now. Maybe things used to move quickly. Opportunities came easily. You felt productive. You had direction. And then something changed. Plans started falling through. Motivation began fading. Energy dropped. You try to push forward, but everything feels heavier than it should. You sit down to work, and your mind feels foggy. You try to make decisions, and nothing feels right. You attempt to force progress, but it just won't move. And slowly, a quiet fear begins to build. What if I'm falling behind? Because in a world that constantly tells you to go faster, to do more, to optimize every second, slowing down feels like failure. It feels like losing control. It feels like you're being left behind while everyone else keeps moving. So naturally, you resist it. You try to fix it, override it, push through it. But the more you force movement, the more resistance you feel. And that's where the frustration begins, because it feels like life itself is blocking you. But what if it's not blocking you? What if it's protecting you? The intelligence of stillness. There's a deeper intelligence behind these moments. And to understand it, you have to step outside the idea that progress only happens through motion. Because some of the most important transformations don't happen when you're moving. They happen when you're still. Think about nature. A seed doesn't grow faster because you keep digging it up to check on it. A river doesn't rush to reach the ocean. It flows, adjusting to every curve. The moon doesn't skip phases to become full. It honors its cycle. Yet when it comes to your life, you expect constant forward motion. But your mind, your nervous system, doesn't work that way. From a psychological perspective, your brain is wired for familiarity. It wants to keep you in known patterns, known identities, known environments. So when your life begins shifting towards something new, your system doesn't immediately accelerate. It slows down, not because you're failing, but because you're integrating. This is what many psychologists and even thinkers like Carl Jung described in different ways. Before transformation becomes visible in your external world, it happens internally. Your identity begins to shift. Your values start changing. Your perception evolves. And during this process, speed becomes dangerous. Because if you move too quickly while your inner world is still reorganizing, you end up building a future that no longer matches who you're becoming. So life does something unexpected. It slows you down, the river and the current. Imagine you're swimming in a river. For a long time, you've been swimming upstream, pushing, straining, forcing your way forward. And then suddenly, you feel exhausted. Your body starts to slow. Your movements weaken. At first, you panic, because slowing down feels like losing. But then something subtle happens. You stop fighting the current, and for the first time, you feel it. The river wasn't against you. It was guiding you. All that effort, all that resistance was never necessary, because the moment you stop forcing direction, the current begins to carry you. This is what slowing down is. It's not the absence of movement. It's a transition from forced movement to aligned movement, from force to flow. So what if this moment, the one you're in right now, is not a breakdown? What if it's a recalibration? What if the things that are slowing you down are actually removing what no longer fits? Because here's the hidden truth. When your life begins to change direction, misaligned paths start closing. Not because you're losing opportunities, but because you're outgrowing them. And that's why things feel slow. Because the old momentum is fading, but the new one hasn't fully arrived yet. You're in between who you were and who you're becoming, between the life you built and the life that's trying to emerge. And this space, it's uncomfortable. It feels uncertain, undefined, quiet. But it's also where everything important is happening. Because clarity doesn't come from constant motion. It comes from space, from stillness, from the ability to actually hear yourself without the noise of constant doing. What happens when you stop resisting? The moment you stop fighting the slowdown, everything begins to change. Not instantly, not dramatically, but subtly. You start noticing things you couldn't see before. Patterns, feelings, truths you've been ignoring. You realize that some of the goals you were chasing weren't even yours. Some of the paths you were forcing were built on outdated versions of you. And slowly, your energy begins to return. Not the frantic, anxious kind, but a grounded, steady kind. The kind that doesn't need to rush because it knows where it's going. And from that place, action becomes clearer. Decisions become easier. Opportunities begin to align in ways that feel natural, not forced. Because now, you're no longer trying to control your life. You're cooperating with it. When life starts moving again, there will come a moment when things begin to move again. But it won't feel the way it used to. It won't feel rushed or chaotic or overwhelming. It will feel effortless, like doors opening at the right time, like conversations flowing naturally, like decisions making themselves. And you'll realize something powerful. The slowdown was never the problem. It was the preparation. It was the space that allowed everything to reorganize in a way that actually supports you. Because there's a difference between getting what you want and being ready to hold it. And readiness is built in stillness, in reflection, in recalibration, in those quiet moments where it feels like nothing is happening. But everything is changing. Trust the pause. So if your life feels slower right now, don't panic. Don't rush to fix it. Don't assume you're falling behind. Because you're not behind. You're being realigned. This pause, this stillness, this moment of uncertainty, it's not empty. It's intentional. Life is removing what no longer fits, reorganizing what does, and preparing you for what's next. So instead of asking, why is nothing happening? Try asking, what is this moment preparing me for? Because the answer to that question will change everything. If this resonated with you, if something inside you slowed down while listening, then take that as a sign, not from me, but from yourself. And if you're on this path of understanding, of realignment, of learning how to move with life instead of against it, then stay here, like this video, subscribe, not for the algorithm, but as a quiet commitment to your own awareness. Because the more you trust the pause, the more you'll realize you were never stuck. You were being guided all along